I'm joined here today by Charles Rosa, set to fight Bryce Mitchell, coming up real soon at UFC OKC. Thanks so much for joining me, man. How are you?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you for asking. First things first, we know that we're going on in a crazy time in the world, man. What's your situation currently like, with this virus and all that stuff going on?
Yeah, I mean, it just started pretty much the first time really it has affected me personally was pretty much like just starting this week. So they changed the gym, they closed it to the public. The American Top Team gyms closed to the public. All I'm able to do now is I just get to go into Top Team and I get to work with one coach, work with Mike Brown, and I get one training partner that I was able to pick, and I get to use them through the week. So we're not like switching partners every time. So basically, just been getting private lessons with Mike Brown all week. Got a good partner, so I'm still getting in the work in and still waiting for my fight. As I know, my fight May 2nd versus Bryce Mitchell is still on in Oklahoma. Haven't heard otherwise, so I'm training for it and I'm going to be ready.
And are you currently in quarantine when you're not out training, or are you still managing to live a little bit normally?
Yeah, I mean, I'm living like right now. I'm living pretty normally as far as I just take the precautions like they say, wash your hands more. I'm not training with all different training partners. There's nobody in the gym really. So when I do go in the gym, it's just me and one other person that I've been training with the last couple weeks, anyways. So seems like it's pretty safe. I'm trying to eye contact. Like I'm not going out to dinner at night and stuff. The restaurants actually just starting to close now. So like last night was the first night the restaurants were being closed and stuff like that. So I think it's right now it's day by day, but last night was like the first night I feel like it really affected me because I went to Publix, the grocery store, and Whole Foods last night to grab some fish or some food after training because I got out of training about 8:30 from Top Team and like it was closed, so I didn't have any food. I had to eat eggs for dinner. So,
Oh
but
yeah.
it was like the first night I was like, man, this shit's for real. So, like I said, I'm taking the precautions, just kind of listening to as it goes, but I'm still getting my work in. So
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's a lot of people talking about a toilet paper shortage and stuff like that. Have you experienced any of that yet? How is that going for you?
I mean, I'm always stocked up for everything. I mean, that's how I am. I always have everything. I usually buy a lot of stuff whenever I need it. Whenever it's on sale, just buy whatever. So I'm pretty good. I haven't had any issues like getting anything. I mean, actually, the other day I always spray my equipment down with like Lysol or something. So that was the second thing that happened is like I stopped at Walgreens and normally I can just buy Lysol to spray my equipment down. Can do that regardless after practice. But there was obviously none of that. So I was like, oh well. I have a little bit left, so I don't know. We'll see if I can get some soon.
And so, what are you going to do with your training camp in order to be able to adjust? You mentioned what they're doing with the gym. I mean, what are you going to do for your diet? Is this about, making sure your meals are ready ahead of time? I mean, what's kind of the game plan here?
Yeah, I mean, I got like I got like I mean, I'm a chef too, so I know how to cook pretty well. And as of right now, I haven't not been. Last night was the only night I wasn't able to get food, but it's only because of the grocery store closed at 8 o'clock, so I just got there late. So I went and just stocked up after the session this morning. I just bought a ton of food, so I got tons of food. I can pretty much make my meals healthy the way I need them and stuff like that. I've always been really done a really good job with that. But as far as the training goes, like I said, I got my one training partner I've been working with. I got Mike Brown, who I can also train with because he's like my size too. So he's a beast. Former world champion, WEC world champion, UFC fighter. He's retired now, but my coach. But he's still, he still can throw down. So he's a good
Of
guy to
course.
train with. And then I also have my little brother Lucas Rosa. He just moved down here from Boston, from New Hampshire, up in New England. He just moved down here to live with me, so he's been living with me for the last 2 months, and he's training to be a fighter. He's still got a little bit of work to do, but he's super tough, and so I got him to, he's a state champion wrestler, so I get my wrestling in with him. So far so good. Everything's good.
And so, how are things for you mentally, knowing that we've seen all these events get canceled, all that stuff? Does that make you nervous or anything like that? I mean, how do you feel mentally about maybe your fight might not happen?
Yeah, I mean it sucks. It's really out of my control though. But the one thing I know for sure is that I'm not gonna not be ready for the fight. Like I'm training
Right.
for it, ready for it. Like I'm doing everything I can do, and everything's being taken day by day. I mean, I've tried to talk, to Chris Weidman, who's the main event of the card. He knows just as much as me, so I don't like feel like I'm not getting there's information out there that I'm not getting. I talked to my manager, Jason House, and he's pretty much giving me updates, but there's really nothing new yet. My other buddy, one of my best friend in the world, Walt Harris, he was supposed to be the main event of Portland, but they said they postponed the event. But he doesn't really have any more information than anybody else either. So like, I don't feel like there's any information out there that I don't have. So, but as far as I know, as far as I know, the fight's still on until I'm told otherwise. I'm gonna keep training for it, keep working hard, and keep dieting. I mean, that's the only thing that kind of sucks is like I train hard pretty much regardless whether I have a fight or not. It's actually better when I have a fight because I get more personal training and more like one-on-one time through the top team gym. They set my coaches and kind of give me what I need, what I want when I'm in camp. But the diet is kind of a pain because like it's like, well, I don't want to be dieting for nothing because you're sometimes cutting,
Right.
little things out that, maybe can give you a little more energy in training sessions. But I still got plenty of time anyway, so we're just gonna play day by day, and hopefully it works out.
And so you are set to fight Bryce Mitchell normally in Oklahoma City. Tell me how this fight came together, because I know Bryce tends to call people out. People tend to call him out. How did this fight come together for you guys?
Yeah, man, believe it or not, it was actually a fan. I wish I knew the fan's name. Maybe I can message and find out. But there was a fan just tweeted um, Rosa versus Bryce Mitchell, a fight I would love to see. What do you think? Like to me, and I was like, oh, I'd love that fight. That's pretty much all I said. I said I would love that fight, and then it made sense. Like, I mean, I guess that's what you have the fans for. They probably know sometimes more than us about the game, and it was just, I mean, obviously you watch Bryce. He's super tough, exciting kid. He's coming off of a submission of the year, a first round submission. The twister. I'm coming off a first round armbar. Have fight of the nights. I got 3 fight of the nights. He has a fight of the night. So he's exciting. I'm exciting. So I think it made sense. Like right when I looked at it, I was like, yeah, this would be cool. So Bryce. So I said, yeah, let's do it. And then Bryce responded back. He said, I'm in, or let's do it too. So that's kind of how the fight came together. So initially then we asked Sean, and Sean Shelby. He didn't really say much, like yes or no. I had my manager reach out. He didn't really say yes or no, so it kind of seemed like it was really a thing, like it wasn't going to happen. I didn't know, but then I think Bryce's side was able to also push for it. So then when they saw both sides like ask about it, like my manager asked and then Bryce's manager asked, and then I think it made sense to the UFC. They're like, oh yeah, these are 2 exciting guys, 2 guys that are coming off first round submission wins, both super exciting fighters, both submission artists. Like, let's do it, And man, I'm super excited about it, and it's definitely a fight I want. I want to get on a good winning streak. I'm coming off the biggest win of my career, so I want to keep the ball rolling and keep getting these W's and eventual world title.
And obviously, a lot of people that talk about Bryce Mitchell, he's this prospect that a lot of people are high on. What are your thoughts on him as a prospect? I mean, do you think he's overrated, or I mean, what are just your thoughts on him as a prospect?
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's overrated. I just think that I think he's a super prospect, but that's the word, prospect. I don't think he's an established fighter that has all the skills yet. I think he has the tools to be a very good fighter. He has the tools to be great, but I think it's going to be a tough fight for him in this point of his career. I mean, there's definitely levels to this sport, and there's levels to the game and fighting. So I know he's tough. I know he's tough. He's the toughest kid from the area. He's a tough kid, and that's why I want to fight. I want to fight the toughest, most talented guys, and that's why I'm in this. I mean, I'm fighting in the UFC. There's no easy fights, so yeah, it definitely makes it better that I get to fight a guy who also not is just an exciting fighter, but he's an exciting personality. So it definitely makes the fight better rather than just fighting a good fighter, because they're all good fighters. So it brings both sides to it. It's pretty cool. He's like a country boy from Arkansas. I'm a city kid in Boston, so that kind of brings you always I mean, the way I grew up, I always wonder, like who would win, like the toughest kid from Arkansas, the toughest kid from, Boston or Massachusetts, or who would, like who's tougher, Florida kids or kids from California. Like for me, I always think of it like that, and sometimes you look into the sports world and how it is as rivalries. So, I think it's all good, man, and we're gonna find out who's tougher, a city kid or a country kid. So hopefully it pans out and we make this fight happen.
And so we know for a long time you had some trouble getting back out in the cage. You were dealing with injuries and things like that. You came back against Bermudez. Obviously, you get the victory. How does it feel getting back out there and lining up these fights in a row?
Oh yeah, it's the best feeling, man. Being able to come back from a big injury, there was an injury where the doctors told me that I might not ever fight again. So,
Right.
I had to battle through that adversity. It wasn't I battled through a lot of things in my life, but that was definitely one of the hardest ones. When the doctor tells you, oh yeah, you can't fight again, or there's a 1% chance. I said, well, if there's a 1% chance, I'm a 1%er. I'm gonna make it happen. And to be able to come back from that, and then come back the way I did, to be able to come back with the first round performance of the night, bonus fight, submission armbar over a top 15 guy in the weight class was pretty amazing to me. So I was really happy to be able to put Manny Bermudez away, and then obviously you want to get on to the next one, and I think Bryce Mitchell's a perfect opponent. He's a tough, talented kid, and I think this is a fight that's going to boost me into a top 10, top 15 fight after this win.
And so, how do you think you match up with him? City boy versus country boy.
Oh man, I love the matchup. I mean, even a fan, because I'm like a fight fan too. I mean, obviously I'm a fighter, and I think, oh, that's the guy. I think I beat anybody, and I'm confident that I can. I know I train an American top team with the best guys on the planet, best guys in my weight class, best weight guys in the world, weight class above me, and I know, what my skills are, and I know what I'm capable of. But when I look at Bryce, I mean, yeah, I see a young, talented, tough kid, but I kind of see myself, in him like 5 years ago when I first got signed to the UFC. I think he's super tough, super raw, but there's a lot of holes in his game that that can be exposed. So these are things that I plan on doing. I'm going to go out there and expose him, and that's what's going to happen. But I think it will be an exciting fight because I don't think he's a quitter. I don't think he's a guy that gets tired. I think he's going to come ready to fight, and it's going to be definitely a fight for the fans.
All right, so I have just one last question for you, kind of an obvious one, but how do you see this fight with Bryce Mitchell playing out?
I'm predicting. I'm definitely predicting a submission victory. I think I'm going to win this fight by submission. If he comes in too hot, though, he's going to get knocked out. So if he tries to come in, rush in on me, then he's going to get caught hard. And I don't think he's fought a striker of my level yet. I think he's fought some pretty good wrestlers. He fought some decent guys, that can wrestle and stuff like that. But this isn't a wrestling match. This isn't a jiu-jitsu match. This is mixed martial arts. So he better have the full package, or he's gonna get exposed quick. So I'm excited. Like I said, I'm excited, man, to go out there and throw some hands, submissions. It's gonna be all over the place, but he's gonna get out wherever his weakness is. So we're gonna find out. Hopefully May 2nd.
All right, well, we look forward to that fight. Obviously, it's going to be a great one. Thanks so much for the time, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you.